Big up everyone, big up the panel, absolutely lit tonight. Lawless will be with us soon. Do not worry in the chat. He is going to jump on because a lot of people want to talk to him. A lot of people want to ask him some questions about his football team and the one of Calvin Phillips. Big up to Billy, big up to Dan United, big up to Errol who's joining us from Man Flu Corner. Big up to Maz, big up to Pete, and big up to LB. Let's start with the game, big game yesterday. Before we do that, make sure you're hitting likes for us, people. Make sure you're subscribing and make sure you go and follow all of these people on their Twitter handles and follow all of their content on YouTube as well. I'm going to come to LB and Errol first for the title talk. But before I do that, I'll give my thoughts on the game. I was obviously watching it on the Watch Along AFTV. Probably one of the quietest watch alongs I've ever done because there was literally nerves in the whole of the building. What a nervous performance that was. Missed opportunity or defensive masterclass? That's what I'm going to ask the panel. In my opinion, it was a missed opportunity. I thought Man City were there for the taking, but I can understand why Arsenal set up like that. And the reason I can understand it is because we've got battered at the Etihad so many times. And I think that there was an opportunity not just for us to win, but actually to put the game to Man City. And I thought we did that yesterday. Man City still could have won the game. People haven't mentioned that. You know, people are too quick to jump on Arsenal playing boring football. Oh, we're all gutted that they didn't lose 4-0 and everyone's getting on Twitter and saying now we're boring. Rattling the fan base yet again is something that we seem to be able to do quite a lot this season, it seems. But I will say I thought Haaland yesterday got absolutely locked up by Gabriel and Saliba. And I actually probably would have given man of the match for me to Gabriel over Saliba. I thought Saliba was mustard, don't get me wrong, but Gabriel absolutely... That was a Keown and Van Nistelrooy type performance between him and Haaland. And that rolled back the years for me. And I was here for it. I love to see it. And at the end, they're giving it to each other. Brilliant. Beautiful to see. Something we don't see enough of in football. Too many Klopp and Pep hugging each other and Liverpool and Man City. Like, nah, I ain't for that. Give me the Arsenal Man United era any day of the week over the Pep and Klopp one, man, hugging each other and high-fiving each other. I want to see some absolute dirt on it. And that's what I saw, man. Haaland, Gabriel, brilliant. Hope that continues. Declan Rice, I thought he was phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Really impressed by him. And, yeah, some poor performances from Arsenal in the final third, man. I didn't think Ødegaard's decision-making was great. I thought he held onto the ball too long. Gabriel Jesus, I just wish he would shoot sometimes. He's too busy trying to take it round 5 players every time. Sometimes tries to do too much for me. Trossard has an unbelievable opportunity to square it to Martinelli, but doesn't, holds onto the ball too much, becomes greedy. But Nathan Ake could have scored with a header and Haaland completely missed the ball in the second half towards the end. So I think both teams had chances, but LB, Arsenal getting a lot of stick again because of how they set up. Was you shocked by that? Did you think it was the wrong decision or can you understand why they did it?
I was shocked, but I understand why he did it. 100% I understood why he did it because now it's put you in a straight shootout with Liverpool. For the final 9 games, who can accumulate the most points in his final 9?
Whoa. Hang on a minute.
January, we got Kevin De Bruyne back. You lot are fucked. Wow.
You're out of it now. Wow. You're done, man. You're done.
LB.
Come on, bro. Have some shame.
Wow.
Have some shame.
Have some shame. What do you mean?
Wow.
What do you mean have some shame?
Wait,
you're giving up now. You're giving up.
Mind games. Mind games.
Where give up? I'm not give up. I think there's still a chance, but he has put himself in a because Arsenal don't need to worry about City now. You're ahead of us. If you handle your business, City can win all 9 games for the rest of the season. We can't catch you. So what he's done is he's put himself in a 1v1 shootout with Liverpool to say, can he get more points than Liverpool in the final 9 games? Wow. If Arsenal handle their business in these final 9 games, it doesn't matter what City do. It's irrelevant what City do. Wow. And that's why for me, I think that's why he took a draw. Because now he can just, back his team to
Errol was that stunned, he's gone.
I really don't know why people are that surprised about it. I mean, what did you expect him to do? Come to City and play football and get smacked up again? You've not won there since 2015. You know what I mean? We humiliate you year on year on year. You know what I mean? This year, he had an opportunity to get a result in a draw, which means that if Arsenal do what they need to do in the final 9 games, you don't have to do any more Man City watch-alongs. You never have to watch us again for the rest of the season because it's irrelevant. We could win every game 5-0 for the rest of the season. You handle your business, don't matter. So I was shocked at how he set up, but in the end, not really that surprised, and I understand why he done it. And like I say, I think he's just backing. I think he's probably thinking to himself, Liverpool will drop points in the final 9 games, which I think they will. Not a lot, maybe 2 games max. I think he backs Arsenal to do better than that. And that's why he's done it.
LB,
Anyone
we
else
can all see
shocked
through
by
this,
that?
mate.
Go on,
You're doing
Dan.
a Billy. You're doing a Billy. You're doing a Billy is what you're
What do you
doing.
mean? What?
You can't say that you're fucking banging it. This is amazing. As a neutral, this 3-horse race, every week it's
I've
like
not said
watching
we're
a
out of it.
heavyweight
I don't know. I don't know
but
why
to
people
say that's it, it's a straight out shootout between Arsenal and Liverpool.
But
Fuck
it
me, mate.
is
I
if
want my
Arsenal
wife to be in your position now,
Dan,
mate.
but it is
Fucking hell.
if Arsenal handle their business. It is.
Wow.
It is in
Yes,
the.
LB,
It is a 1v1 shootout if they handle their business.
Do you
We're
think
4 points behind them, bro. We're 4 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
4.
Do you think Arsenal are going to win
With
all
goal
9
difference.
games? Though?
I think Arsenal will win. I think Arsenal could win probably 8, 7 or 8, which means we have to win. We have to win 8 or 9, and I don't think we will win 8 or 9. No, I'm not saying we're out of it. I don't know. That's why I'm quite surprised about the reaction, because I'm not saying we're out of the race. I just think that like Arsenal and Liverpool are in
I think
a
it's the way
fantastic
you
position.
said it. I think it's the way you said it right at the top of the show that shocked people. Like, it was like, oh, this is just straight shootout between these two.
Well, that's what he's done.
makes it
Otherwise,
sound-
why would he have done that?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean now that you've elaborated. But when you said it at the top of the show, I think we're all like, what? You're basically saying it's Arsenal or Liverpool now? And I get what you're saying, because factually you're right. It is. Liverpool and Arsenal win all their games, and it's, Man City can do nothing about it. I get what you're saying, right? But for me, what I will agree with you is that Liverpool are now in the driving seat. But driving seat has changed throughout the season. We were top at Christmas. Man City took over. Liverpool have been, let's be real, not really spoken about. It's just kind of assumed that Liverpool are going to drop points. Now, look, I don't know what Errol thinks will get his points in a minute, but maybe they will. But the way I'm looking at Liverpool's fixtures, it looks nicer than ours. Let me tell you that. It looks nicer than ours. None of them look easy, if I'm honest with you. I don't think Liverpool's fixtures, I don't think Errol would sit there and go, oh, easy, winning all them. Easy, breeze, walk in the park. But at the same time, I think they look easier than Arsenal's. But I was surprised. Were you surprised, LB, that Man City couldn't find a way through? Like, I mean, I know we defended with all our might and it was fantastic for us, but there was a lack of creativity, I thought, from Man City. Foden was pretty poor. KDB weren't himself. Bernardo was skinning Kivior to start with.
I wasn't surprised, bro. I wasn't surprised. What are you going to do? Well, your team sat on the edge of the penalty area. You got a great defence, one of the best defences probably in Europe. You got Declan Rice shepherding in front of him. You know what I mean? You got who else did you have in there? You had Jorginho in there, an experienced professional of the game, and then Odegaard floating around, and obviously your 2 wingers coming back. No, of course I didn't. You know what I mean? Yes, it was disappointing that we didn't create any chances, but not really surprised that we didn't create any chances. It was extremely difficult to create chances in the circumstances that Arsenal set up in. So
You're giving us a bit of credit, giving us a bit of credit there, or
I've been defending Arsenal all day. I've been defending Arsenal all day. I see all these people that are saying Arsenal missed a trick. Arsenal should have sent it. This is a weak City team. I think it's delusional. City have not lost at the Etihad since December 2022. Yeah, you've not beaten us there since 2015. Arteta came with a game plan. Yeah, to come with a game plan to not lose a football match. And he's now backing his team. He's setting his team a challenge. He's setting these Arsenal players a challenge. Go and win your remaining 9 games. If you do that, you don't have to worry about City. I've been defending Arsenal all day, man. I back it. I back his tactics. I back how they played. Yeah, fair dues to him. And for us now, it's difficult. If people keep saying, "Oh, it's only 3 points you're behind," yeah, but it's not really though, is it? Because we've got an inferior goal difference, and Liverpool play Sheffield United on in the next game, so they're going to smack them up for 5. Let's be honest. So all of a sudden, yeah, say City do beat Villa, which again is no given. We've not beaten a single team in the top 5, by the way, this season. Not one. We're now in April. Yeah, so all these people saying, "Oh, it'll be an easy win against Villa." Yeah, well, people have been saying that, but all the game. Oh, it'd be easy win against Spurs at home, didn't win. Easy win against Chelsea at away. Easy win against Chelsea at home. Not won any of them. Drawn them all. So, providing we do beat Villa, which again is no given, we're still going to be behind massively on the goal difference. Oh yeah, but you'll make the goal difference up somewhere. City always do that. Who? Luton don't really concede that many goals. You know, we don't have the game. So for me, I think City have a chance of winning the league, and the only chance we have of winning the league is by winning 9 games out of 9. That's it. Don't win 9 games out of 9, you ain't winning it. Facts. Done.
Let me open it to the panel then, because the question is, did we kind of, was it a defensive masterclass from Arsenal, tactically good from Arteta, or was it a missed opportunity?
To be fair, I was massively impressed with Arsenal's defensive setup. I'm not going to lie. If you're asking me if my team are in that situation, and I'm looking at the way in which you performed yesterday, I'm going away saying, job done. Didn't lose. Set up fantastically well, and for me, it shows evolution in the team because years going back, Arsenal would have gone out to go and win that game, go gung ho, and go. This is how Arsenal play. This is what we're going to do. No matter what, we're going to go out and play our football and play a certain way. And as LB said, 9 times out of 10, you'll get your arses handed to you. You didn't yesterday. And actually, on the counter, you had moments where if 1 or 2 final passes were better, you'd have been in.
The Trossard one, the Trossard first touch.
But you know what, right? Just quickly on that one, Dan and Pete, right? That one there, I said to LB on, I think it was his channel or one. I've done so much content over the last few days. I don't know what channel it was on. I've definitely said it on here. I likened this game, if we won it 1-0, to the Mark Overmars goal in 98 at Old Trafford. And Dan United, you'll remember that one, right? And that was literally identical in terms of everything, other than Trossard did not have the pace of Mark Overmars back then. And then when you're in that position, you've got to do one or two things. You've either got to use your pace, if you've got it, which Martinelli would have done, by the way, if it was Martinelli over there. And he's one-on-one then, right? And he's through. Or you cut inside and take your shot, or you cross it. And I was like screaming with Turkish, both of us going, cross, he's through, Martinelli's in. Now, we don't know if Martinelli would have put it in, right? But he's a good finisher, probably the best at the club. Trossard's tried to use his pace, and he's just got greedy. And that was it. The chance was gone then, the minute he did that. And I was so like, wow, do you know what? Like, let's be real. This is so likened to the Overmars one. And I was just gutted that it weren't there. But it wasn't the only chance of the game. I won't say that. But it was a massive one.
Is it 8 points against Liverpool and City now this season?
Yeah, man. That is one thing I've got to say. Like that's one thing I've got to say against Liverpool and Manchester City, home and away. We've drew at their place and we beat them at home. And we've obviously, Man City have won 57 games, or 57 times. Sorry, they've scored at the Etihad and they didn't score at home. So defensively, LB's right to say fair play to us. Gabriel and Saliba were amazing. Ben White was a monster. Declan Rice, Jorginho. But you're right, Dan. 8 points against those two. No one else has managed to do that.
Let me say something, right? If Liverpool draw a single game, you only need to win the corresponding game to go above them on goal difference. Now, this is what I'm thinking if from an Arsenal point of view. I believe that Liverpool will drop points in one of these games in the next 9. Your job is to better that. Now, if Liverpool win the next 9 out of 9, you know what you do? You go, fair play, Liverpool. That's pretty sick, unbelievable. Like, we did what we can do. And you can't do anything about that. You just say, GG's Liverpool, we did what we can do. But if Liverpool do slip up, then you've got to be there to win and go top on goal difference. If Liverpool draw. Because if Liverpool draw, they'll go...
Both playoffs, Selby. Both playoffs.
Well, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, these 3 teams that we're dealing with are mega teams. They're not going to drop many points. But I just feel that, like, Dan, you know what? I just feel that, like, there's too many fans out there that are just, like, delusional. Oh, Arsenal should have gone for it. City were weak. Oh, your defence was weak. Was it? Was it weak? We had Gvardiol there. We had Diaz there. We had Akanji there. Was it weak? Oh, but he had Ortega. Ortega's sound, man. It's a big myth that team was there for the taking. City were not there for the taking yesterday. That's just a complete lie. So for me now, I just, like I say, go win your final 9 games. If Liverpool drop points, you'll be there to win it. If they don't, fair play Liverpool. They deserve to win the title. That's literally where I'm at with it. As for us, we have to hope that you have a bit more than a small fall off. You know what I mean? Which is unlikely. But, we'll be looking at Champions League. We'll still go for that. We'll look at FA Cup. I still think we can win the FA Cup. So that's obviously great. So, we'll see, innit?
Go on, Maz.
I was just going to say, in terms of I think what people were getting at Man City for is because they didn't have those natural fullbacks. And I think obviously, what was it? Gvardiol left back, was it? And
he was quality though. Gvardiol, he was well good. I thought.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's why people were saying that Man City were weakened because they didn't have those natural fullbacks. Whereas, I think they were playing 4 centre backs across the back 4. So I think that's where that narrative was coming from. But I think it was a great result for Arsenal, like we've touched on. I think to go to the Etihad, get a point. What more do you want in a title race against your biggest rival? A point, you'll take that all day long. Like LB said, they haven't won there for what, 9 years? 9 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, but basically 9 years, something like that.
Yeah, so yeah, you
I don't, I
as
don't
a
feel like we could have. I don't feel like we could have really won yesterday unless we beat them. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of the fan base that I've seen that are like, "Oh, Arsenal, it was boring to watch," and I'm like,
Are you being
"Mate,
philosophical?
Did that make sense then? Or
Are you being philosophical?
No. So what I mean by that, yeah.
Michael Owen.
Now I've listened to what I've said. Now I've listened to what I said. I know where you're laughing, but
Clip
what I
it,
was meaning
Sam.
was,
Clip that, Sam.
Yeah,
Clip
yeah,
it.
I don't feel like we could have won. We could have got respect from everybody. Was what I should have said. But unless we would have beaten Man City. So what I mean by that is, I couldn't believe my phone was buzzing. I thought people were going to go, "Oh, fair play, 0-0. We move on. Nothing really matter." And it's like, "Oh my God, Arsenal bottled it. They had no absolute." And I'm like, "Did I watch something different then?" Because I didn't see us bottling a game of football there. It wasn't like we had. I would say Liverpool bottled it more than us in that game against Man City. Diaz could have easily won that game for Liverpool against Man City, right? So I don't really get it. It was all of a sudden Arsenal were bottling it against this team, and I'm like, did we? Maybe I need to watch it again then, because I didn't see Arsenal bottling a game of football there. Not at all. Both teams could have won it. It was a draw. It was 0-0. We move on. We didn't lose. We didn't get embarrassed, and we have done the last few years. Yeah, was it a missed opportunity to win the game? Yeah, you could probably say that. I thought we could have won it, but Man City could have won it.
I don't think it was. It wasn't a missed opportunity. It's just not, is it? Why? I just don't understand why people are saying it's a missed opportunity. Well, where is this coming from? Like acting like City are crap. Like, you know what I mean? We're still in a title race.
That's where it
We're in the
makes it sound
quarterfinals
like
of the Champions League. We're in the FA Cup. Like, what are people waffling about, man?
Is it flip? Do you flip that, LB? Because everyone's saying that Arsenal aren't the team. Arsenal aren't the team. But then in the next breath, they're saying, "Oh, but they should be smashing City." So what are they? Are they not the team? Are they the team? What do you expect? From
I don't know what people just waffle about.
It's
Arsenal
football
too
fans,
much, man.
unfortunately.
Honestly, I
It's
don't
football
know.
fans.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It is football fans, man. It's football fans on Twitter and social media that made me laugh. And do you know what? It's mostly teams that are looking up at us and thinking, "I wish I was in that position." That's what I'm looking at. A lot of the fan bases that are absolutely in the mud at the moment. And you're laughing, Dan, but I'm not actually meaning your fan base. Funny enough, I'm actually meaning like fans like Spurs and fans like Chelsea. Chelsea are actually the worst. It's hilarious. Watching Chelsea at the moment is actually embarrassing. And they're laughing, going, "Oh my God, did anyone see that bottle job at our performance from Arsenal? Saka, world class, invisible." Blah, blah. And I'm thinking, Foden got subbed because he was crap. What are we talking about here? Like, let's actually look at what Man City didn't do right as well, yeah? It's always, let's pile on Arsenal. Bizarre for me, man. But
Sign of
anyway.
a good manager, that. I'll get into that on mine in the bit.
Yeah, it's a sign that we're relevant again, man. Sign that we're relevant again and people can't hack it. Errol, let me bring you in, man, before you die on us. Thoughts on this game, and then we'll go into your game likewise, because I didn't watch the whole of the Liverpool game, and I'll get Maz's thoughts on it from a Brighton point of view as well, but sounded like you deserved to beat them from what I could look at and what I saw. But there was a chance for Adam Lallana, who I think, by the way, just completely scuffed that on purpose because of his Liverpool heritage.
We'll get into it. We
get into that. But talk about Arsenal City first, your thoughts on it and what it means for the title. And Liverpool, yours to lose now, mate. Yours to lose, a lot of people are saying. Liverpool's to lose.
Fair. I thought it was interesting that you mentioned the rivalries, and you're done with the whole Klopp and Pep rivalry of the huggy business. I'm sorry, mate. Pep and Klopp have given us some of the best exciting football and matches the Premier League's probably ever seen, really.
Bit too lovey-dovey, though. Not much nastiness, Errol, is there?
Well, there's not necessarily, there's probably not the same level of needle, but in terms of everything being left on the pitch, you can't deny that both teams absolutely give it their
entertaining.
And both teams, I'd always say both teams, no matter whether we're going toe-to-toe for the running or what, or it's in the middle of, October or November, both teams go to win. Yesterday, from the outside looking in, that didn't look like either team were actually trying to win the game. It looked like both teams were quite content, still being in it, still having a name in the hat, playing for the draw, and hoping that one of the other teams, because you've seen it before, Liverpool not necessarily have slipped up, but they've dropped points. They've not been all perfect when they needed to be perfect to clinch a title away from us. They've seen that Arsenal drop points last season and then fell away towards the tail end. So they probably feel that situation could happen. So as long as we're still in it, that's still a likelihood. Arsenal probably not been in this particular
set of circumstances for a very long time where they're looking at two teams and they're thinking, we're really up against it, but we're in the mix. Let's just make sure that we stay within that mix. So it felt from the outside looking in as if you were obviously would have loved to have taken chances, but there wasn't a wealth of chances created to ultimately say that either team should have come away with the win yesterday, if I'm being completely honest with you. And then there's just the second thing there that, one of the biggest observations that I probably, we do this show almost every week, and we will say a lot of things and we'll probably get more wrong than we do right. But one of the things that I think I could quite safely say I probably did get right now that we can look back is, I said to you very early on probably before we started this season's worth of content, Dan, that we needed to drag City down to our level. And that's not to say that our level isn't still a very high level, but we just need to drag City. We can't leave City on that perch of cusp of 100 points, because if we leave them on that cusp of 100 points, none of us will pip them. None of us will pip them for that title. We need to find a way that you take points off them home and away, we take points off them home and away. And other teams, you go back to that record that LB's just spoke on about not beating anybody in the top 5. There it is. Teams have stepped up this season. And not to say they've stepped up to do Liverpool or Arsenal a favour, but we just haven't seen it in so long where other teams have really taken it to the City side. So City don't look impenetrable. They don't look like they can't be beat. Other teams now have got their own styles of play, their own quality players from front to back, where they believe in themselves to be able to get something, either at home or away to City. And not many teams do get anything away at the Etihad, but at home, the likes of Billy's side have done it. We've held them to a draw. You've got to win. I think all of that in the course of the season would have always been enough to put us in this position where we're in now. And that's all I wanted. And it's obviously taken us the best part of 30-odd games for it to come to fruition. But now the points total is there to show City haven't done well in those head-to-heads against their closest rivals in the league so far this season. They haven't done enough to put themselves on the top of the tree. So they are now hoping that there will be mistakes and other teams will be doing them favours. And then finally, I think in terms of Liverpool's chances, if we look at the whole run-in, look, we do enjoy it. I said it into the group chat before. The last 9 games under Klopp, 22-23, we won 7 out of 9. 21-22, we won 8 out of 9. 22-21, we won 7 out of 9 again. 19-20, okay, yeah, we fell off. We only won 5 out of 9. And then 18-19, we won all of our last 9 games. So to say that Liverpool, to say it's Arsenal's or Liverpool can't do it or Arsenal will still go ahead, I think it really will go down to the last day of the season, because Liverpool, I'm not saying they're going to be perfect, but we are going to be as close to perfect as we possibly can in those last 9 games with a buffer. And if
why
we
do you sound so miserable, Errol?
Say that again, sorry, bro.
You sound so miserable, mate.
He's not well.
Probably that. But outside of that, I'm not overly confident. I'm not cocky to say we're going to definitely win it. But the history...
You feel though now that being in the driver's seat with that record in the last 3 years of your last 7, 8, 9 games, with your fixtures you've got. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Craven Cottage is difficult to go. I think Villa, you've spoken about Villa Park. West Ham, I mean, Lawless is going to join us in a minute. It ain't going to be easy. Obviously, Old Trafford next. Like, you wouldn't say it's a breeze, but at the same time, I do fancy Liverpool with their last few fixtures, man.
It's that scenario that I was describing to you a couple of months ago, lads, where, I said if we get out of the whole January situation within touching distance, and the senior players that have been there and done it can look around the room and see a couple of the new lads and say, this is what it takes now. The levels that you're going to have to put in, the commitment, the dedication, the energy, it's already started, but when you've got 9 games, you can it's almost materializing. So the fact that these lads can turn around and will have that conversation with it being a very reasonable expectation that we can drive on for that, strive for that perfection, they should be confident. They should be confident that they will find the answers and they will find the solutions. Not to mention Trent's due to come back. Not to mention Alisson's due to come back. Not to mention Jota's due to come back as well. Curtis Jones. Like, make no mistake about it. The fact that Liverpool are sitting pretty at the top of the league, quote unquote, we've had Kelleher since January pretty much in goal. Salah missed nearly 90 days of footy. We haven't had who else? We've had players missing in midfield through injury.
Zoboslai.
Has been missing. We've had Canate injured as well. We've been dealing with Quadza. We've not had Trent, who, let's be, I'll be honest, up until Christmas, I genuinely thought Trent was on trajectory to be playing in the season. He was absolutely phenomenal.
He was my player of the season.
And obviously, he's been injured for such a long time now. With that recency bias probably knocks him down a peg in order a little bit. But when you really deep in, where Liverpool have been able to maintain that level with the players' absence. When you bring certain players back in, even though we've got to go to difficult away grounds, the quality's back in the squad and the belief should be sky high. So as a fan, I'm going to be very nervous. As a fan, I expect it to go very much down to the wire. But if I was a player playing in this Liverpool team right now, I'd be confident that we could go the whole distance. I
think Jurgen Klopp, and this season, that will be unbelievable. To basically win a Carabao Cup with a few kids, to go through the season with the injuries that you have had at the pivotal times. I think you've got the manager there. Without him, I honestly don't think Liverpool would have won some of the games they have done. I honestly don't. I really don't, man.
That's fair. The amount of games you've had to come back in the second half and put in a second half performance because we haven't been at the races from the word go. We've really put ourselves up against it. You look at the Brighton game, Maz, you'll have watched that the other day, and Brighton came flying out the blocks, absolutely flying out the box, and Liverpool were alive to the danger. We knew what Brighton were going to do. We knew that you were going to be very direct, and we knew you was going to try to hit us down, our flanks if you could expose that space. We had two young lads there in Quadza and Bradley trying to hold it down against some of the lads that you have had in that system now for the best part of 2 seasons. Doing really well in that system. And all right, we've had a few wobbly games this season, topsy-turvy games, but the attacking threat's always been there for Brighton. It's never disappeared. So Liverpool, again, put ourselves in a position where you have to go dig deep and go to the well once again. And I don't particularly like that tact of having to dig deep in the next 9 games. I think if we have to dig deep and we have to come from behind game in, game out for the next 9, we're going to struggle. Because it almost becomes too much to ask for. We seen it last season where we had fell off a cliff and all of a sudden we kept going behind. So every game we was going behind, we had to dig deeper. And the lads just didn't have nothing left to give. All right, this season is a little bit of a difference because there's something to achieve at the end of it. But I'd love to see a lot more control in games. And I think the control comes back when you get the quality players, the Allisons back in the mix, you get the Trents back in the mix, Robertsons, you get Jotas in the game, who's someone who's clinical and can take a game away from you in the space of 20, 25 minutes. I think the control can come back. But if we have to pray that we're having to tear the result round 4 or 5 times in the next 4 or 5 games before the end of the season, the anxiety, the confidence, all of those things will dip and it will affect performances. So going forward, we need to play better than we did against Brighton. I thought after the half an hour mark, 35-minute mark, we seem to have a lot more control. And it did look like one-way traffic. Brighton didn't seem to have any other shots that I can remember of note in that first half. Liverpool seemed to kind of get a grip of the game, which was really good to see. And as I say, Luis Diaz's anticipation, one of the things I've criticised him for, can you be that guy? Can you really take the game by the scruff of the neck and take it away from him? He was our best attacking player yesterday. I think McAllister, just want to touch on that goal. The ball in from Szoboszlai was ridiculous. It was fired in at him. The touch from McAllister to just kill the ball dead, and then the speed of thought to just play it through that line in that tight space was exceptional. And then obviously Salah does what Salah does. The amount of finishes, the amount of goals, the amount of goal contributions that he's had in 7 seasons at Liverpool. He's a record breaker. Genuinely do believe the players themselves will have the confidence that they can win the league. As a fan, that's not my job. My job is to be very, very much nervous up until...
What?
What was that noise?
Listen,
You're running from groupies,
no, it's really windy outside, so I've got to have my hood up so you're not hearing the wind, and there's low sun. So what can I do?
You got turkey for a hair transplant. Is that why you got the hood down?
That's clearly the reason.
Yeah.
Sunglasses on and the hood up. Clearly, that is the reason why. Listen, before we come to you, Lawless, let me ask you all, other than myself, it'll be an error before we come to Maz. Just one name: Liverpool, Arsenal, or City for the title. Billy.
I still think City are going to somehow manage to do it. I really do.
Dan United.
Billy, man.
Arsenal.
I'm not saying that I want them to. I'm just saying that I think they will.
Turned on you, Errol. That's what he does, brother. That's what he does.
That's what he
That's what he
does.
fucking does. I'm telling you.
Dan, who did you say? You say Liverpool.
Arsenal.
You think Arsenal?
Fuck Liverpool. Arsenal. Fucking hell.
Maz.
I went Man City at the beginning. Well, even like 3 months into the season, but I am going to change. I think I'm going to go Liverpool. I don't know. I saw some. Yes, obviously we'll get onto it, but yeah, I think Liverpool just.
Okay, interesting. Pete.
I've got a sneaky feeling that Arsenal are going to do it. I've just got a feeling.
Lawless.
Liverpool. They're doing it.
In the event that Liverpool do go on to win it, I want to show like what Lawless got last year. Where I'm gonna go for all of you, especially the ones that have just had. You've just all had the chance to just make your bed now and make your peace with Liverpool.
Errol, I stopped you from becoming the Godfather, mate, so you can have your fucking show. I had to listen to you do that for weeks. You can have your show. I'll pay for the production. I'll pay for your hair to be done. I'll buy you a new outfit, sort your makeup out. I'll do everything.
My God.
Listen, man. LB, are you sticking with your City? Are you?
No, I think Arsenal will win it.
You think Arsenal?
Yeah.
I think City will still win it. Errol, what are you saying?
No, I think we're going to do it now. Obviously, come on. Like
Okay.
we're in driving.
No one respects Liverpool. What is going on? Like, how are we the only ones saying Liverpool?
I'd be foolish not to back my team at this point. If I couldn't back them now, at what point would you expect me to be able to back my team in this position? Let's be honest.
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. Okay, Maz, before we come to Lawless, Brighton yesterday, Danny Welbeck, what a goal, by the way. I never know what to expect with Brighton, if I'm honest. But what's your thoughts of this game and for Brighton now moving forward? What because you're there or thereabouts, man, for European football still.
Yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. Well, obviously we got West Ham, all those surrounding teams are around us. But yeah, no, yesterday I was at the game actually. I was in the away end. The limbs when that Welbeck goal went in was unbelievable. Best 30 seconds of the weekend that. But yeah, it didn't go to plan. McAllister was sensational. It's mad because we're missing him. And that's the reason why we're not doing as well. And he just showed his class yesterday. It was sensational, so good. But I mean, one thing I will say, I didn't appreciate Lallana's comments before the game. Like, you can't be 2 seconds. My dog's going a bit mental.
That's all right.
2 seconds. Yeah.
Wow, what did he say? I don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said.
I'm dying for Liverpool.
Fucking hell. Cliffhanger.
He said what? That he's dying for Liverpool to win the league.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, he basically said I'm
Because
dying.
no one knows what he said.
No,
Sorry,
he basically said I'm dying for Liverpool to win the league.
What is that?
Yeah, that's
it's a
poor.
little
That's poor.
couple. But yeah,
Oh, wow,
it was
Maz.
literally
I'd never ever thought Maz had one of them dogs. So I'm not gonna
Like,
lie.
it is. It's my missus. He loves it. But yeah, no, literally, like I think 15 minutes before the game, whatever, half an hour before the game, he's come on and he's gone. I love Liverpool to win the league, and I'm like, bro, you're still playing for us. I get it. You're a Liverpool guy at heart or whatever, but to say that before the game and then to miss the chance he did as well was just it was poor, man. And all he does, he comes on, he hobbles about, gets everyone like, come on, press, and then doesn't do anything himself. It's just poor, man. But it was one of those games. Liverpool deserved it ultimately, but we had our chance as well, which I think it shows that we still got it. Like, we still can fight, get that European place. Hopefully, I'm not super confident, but we've got a lot of injuries as well. Obviously, not as many as Pete, but we've got our fair share. And I'm half confident. I don't want to do Billy, but yeah, it's.
Do you think the Zerbi goes
Love
against
that,
the
Maz.
season,
Love
Maz?
that. Love
Huh?
that.
Do you think the Zerbi goes at the end of the season?
Do you know what? Like, his interviews, especially the day before, that was another thing as well. The day before the game, he's come out to the press and he said, like, Brighton fans will never turn on me because of what I've created, like the history I've had. Like, even if I leave, they've got no right to say anything to us and all that. And it's just been a weird 3-4 days, especially, like, for your manager to come out and say stuff like that, it's not good. And then I think after the game as well, he said he's still not committing. He's got to have a chat with Tony Bloom. So I don't know, man. He's moving very weird. Like I'm going to sound mad saying this, but I wouldn't be upset if he left because I still think he's got so much development to do. I don't think he's a top quality manager. If he went to Liverpool, I think he'd flop. He'd do a Graham Potter at Chelsea. I don't think he'll be that guy.
I agree.
I still think he's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot to learn. You saw at Roma, go out of his depth to go 4-0 down with 3 at the back, and then to go, oh yeah, let's go back to back 4. Like it just shows he's still got a lot to learn, in my opinion. He's got some tactical ineptness, but yeah, yesterday, to be fair to him, he set up well. We took the game to Liverpool straight off the bat, and then that left hand side, Liverpool just went at us on that left hand side. Estepinian been off it recently, and then it's just been one of those. It was one of those games where we could have got a draw, but Chelsea ultimately deserved it, and man, we just got to keep going.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm with you. I was praying with all my might that you could take Sang off of my Anfield, but it's a tough place to go. Lawless, thanks for joining, bruv. Traveling back from your holiday. Hope you had a nice time, mate. I'm sure the weekend made you enjoy the holiday even more, bruv. Are you stopped crying yet about referees and VAR and stuff like that?
Well, it's funny you're saying that, considering you agreed with me about the situation, that we was screwed over by that decision. Even Tobes had to backpedal. You don't see that often. So look, it's a mixture of referee incompetence and managerial incompetence. That's what has cost us that game. We're 2-1 up. 3-1 up, sorry. Moyes decides, you know what? Let's go defensive. Let's see this game out. Let's see out this 3-1 win. Invited some pressure on. Ref gives a penalty away at a crucial moment. They get that penalty, score the penalty, and then it changes the dynamic of the game completely. Absolutely, completely. That's killed us, but it gives them belief. The momentum is with Newcastle at that point. So I think that decision was very costly for us, but Moyes has to take blame, and so do some of the players as well, because what is that mentality, man? Just go for the kill. Stop trying to sit on leads all the time. It's apparently we haven't won a game all season where we've won the first half. Someone told me that stat. So when we've gone into half-time winning, we haven't gone on to win the game, which presents bigger problems. What is this half-time talk that Moyes is coming out with? That mentality of game management is shocking. So, but you can't overlook that referee decision, the penalty. Like the fucking idiot goes to the monitor and looks at it and still gets it wrong. Baffling, absolutely baffling. The Phillips thing. I know. Look, Tobes is here. I know, just to talk about Calvin Phillips. That's why he's here. The Phillips prosecutor. Yeah, that's what he's here for. And we know we're going to talk about Calvin Phillips, but really and truly, he didn't cover himself to glory in the performance, but he hasn't done anything wrong because that shouldn't have been a penalty. So everyone's going, what disaster is giving away a penalty. It's not a fucking penalty. So, I feel for him.
Not talking about referees. I thought referees weren't.
Well, no, because you lot talk about him every week. You talk about it every week. You lot always. I see in the chat, referee. Oh, it's a referee. Like all the time, every week in the chat. So you don't follow the rules. So I'm not following the rules. But so at the end of the day, how was it not a penalty? Potts agrees with me. Toes agrees with me. Because it's not a penalty. Because at the end of the day, what Gordon's done, Gordon's nowhere near the football. He comes in late and hacks. What?
He literally kicks Gordon's leg. He kicks into
Gordon's obstructing him. So Gordon comes in, hacks for the ball, misses the ball. What?
I'm just picturing someone walking by Lawless in a park, shouting at his phone.
Gonna get arrested.
He's come from behind Phillips to try and.
Yeah, he's come from behind. Yeah, and missed, and he's missed, and he's fucking missed. He's missed.
He's just booted.
He's fucking because he's fucking missed. He hasn't. He's trying to kick the ball, and that little rat boy Gordon fucking missed it. Anyway, if Phillips is running with the ball, and he fucking goes to ground, that gets given to Phillips. You can't just come and try and hack people from behind. And yeah, but of course he's straight kicks it because he kicks the ball. No, but
He doesn't touch Phillips. He doesn't touch him. He doesn't touch
Does
him.
Gordon?
And Phillips boots him in the leg.
Yeah, but he's trying to clear the ball, and what Gordon does is sticks his leg in front of Phillips' leg. He doesn't play the ball at all. There's no attempt for the ball.
Lawless,
You can't just do that.
Lawless, you look like you're on your way to go and spit a diss track somewhere or something.
I am on peace. I'm going to spit a peace deluded ass. Because what is this? Like, just hold your hands up. Just hold your hands up and say you got away with one. Not everything is Newcastle, a fucking this horrible team. Every decision that goes Newcastle's way is always right. You know, Newcastle, everything's positive, everything's rosy. Yeah, it's fucking even my biggest hater, Toads, had to backtrack and watch it and say, yeah, that's not a pen.
It's a pen.
Why can't you do that?
Because
it was given us.
I was there. I watched it. I was literally right.
Oh, shut up, Pete! Shut up, Pete! We haven't got a better view than the fucking TV. I've got a season ticket, yeah? I've got a season ticket. There's no way you're using that as a reason why you saw it better because you was there. No, Pete. No, Pete.
I watched it just as much as you did. It's a penalty.
No, I've seen this.
He kicks his leg. How is it not a penalty?
Because Pete. At the end of the day.
Anywhere on the pitch.
No, it's not. It's not because Phillips is the one with the ball. Phillips is in possession of the ball.
He doesn't kick Gordon's leg.
Do you know why he doesn't kick the ball? Do you know why he doesn't fucking kick the ball? Because Gordon puts his leg in front of his leg to stop him kicking the ball. That's why it's not a penalty. He's obstructing him. You can't just jump in front of someone's fucking leg. You can't jump in front of someone's leg and then claim a foul.
Should he just allow him to play the ball then, like unchallenged? Is that what you're saying?
If I go and jump in front of a fucking bus, is that bus driver being prosecuted for murder?
Don't shake that out.
No.
Fucking hell.
No, is that bus driver going to be prosecuted for murder if I jump in front of his bus?
How are we talking?
Is it? No. Because you're putting yourself in that situation. If I'm kicking a ball, Pete, yeah, if I'm fucking got my leg cocked back, about to kick this ball, you see that and put your body between my foot and the ball, then that's your fault. You've done that. I'm not. What is Philip supposed to do? He can't see this prick.
Pete come in, Lawless.
I'm not. If I'm a West Ham fan, I'm not having a go at Phillips for that. Phillips is trying to clear the ball. He's trying to do the right thing. But as an opposition player, if I'm there, I'm not going to let Phillips just clear the ball easy. I'm going to try and get something on it and try and get my body in the way of clearing the ball. He's kicked his leg. I'm not saying he's intended to do it. He hasn't intended to do it. But he's kicked his leg. If I'm a defender and I'm trying to clear the board and I go to boot it and I smash into the player's leg and the player goes down, for me, it's a penalty. We've seen it before. We've seen it in the middle of the pitch. It's a free kick. There's no difference.
Switch it around. All right, let's switch it around. Let's switch it around, yeah? Gordon's shooting, yeah? Gordon's in our box. He's going to fucking take a shot. Phillips comes in, doesn't get near the ball, wraps his leg round Gordon's foot. What is that? Is that
it's
what?
the same.
It gets given as a penalty to Gordon. No, it's not. If Gordon's about to shoot, yeah, and Phillips wraps his leg, wraps his leg right around Gordon's foot, yeah, thus stopping him from taking the shot.
It's a free kick to Phillips.
What? It's a penalty. It's a penalty because Phillips is the one. He's not playing the ball. He's playing the man, not the ball. That's how it works. You can't do that, Pete. Pete, you can't go and obstruct people. No, it's football. If you're going to make a challenge, Pete, you make a challenge on the fucking ball. You play the ball. If you play the man, yeah, that's a foul.
Okay, but
You have to play the ball, Pete.
He didn't play the man, though. This is the thing.
outside of that, though, Lawless,
No,
do you-
just one second. Like he literally, Gordon didn't play the man. He didn't make contact with Phillips. He tried to get in front of him to block the ball. He's in the area. He's not going to allow him to just clear the ball.
Does he touch the ball? Does he touch the ball?
He tried to get in front of him to use his body.
Does he touch the ball?
Oh, no.
Phillips is into him. It's a penalty. It's a penalty.
How? He's mid-kick. You can't do that.
Can we agree to disagree? Agree to disagree?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Well, what do you?
No, wait a minute. I'm waiting for fucking Tobes or Potts or some of these other people or anyone else to have an opinion on
Well,
this.
I said
Because
it wasn't a penalty.
you've had a lot of chatting with the
Lawless, I said at the time it wasn't a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty for the same reasons that you say. The guy just sticks his leg there, don't get the ball. I don't think it's a pen. I'm just to say that. Done. No pen for me.
I back up and echo.
We're
Go on,
moving
Tom.
away
Go on,
from
Tom.
the fact. We're moving away from the fact that it was a great game of football. Like for the neutral, for you guys watching, it was a great game of football, right? Brilliant.
Don't give me my 3 points back.
Yeah, it does it, and it gets me the 3 points, and I'm buzzing about that. And I said we'd come for you, and we did. But you know,
You and your mate in your pocket. You and your mate, the ref, in the pocket. That's who you come with, isn't it?
in the pocket, he gave you the second goal, mate. He gave you the
Oh
second
my! How you want to go there, Pete? You want to fucking go there, Pete? You want to go there? You want to go there? You want to go there on that second goal? Because your fans, yeah.
Right there.
Do you know why? Do you know why he played on?
On the ground, and the ref stopped the game.
Do you know why?
He's down holding his head about 5 or 6 times.
Because he's a fucking cheat, Pete. He's a fucking cheat.
Yeah, he fucking is.
Shirt is a cheat. No, shirt is a cheat. Shirt is a cheat. That's why the game didn't get stopped. Because how is that a head injury? How is it a head injury, Pete? How is it a head injury? Yeah? Oh my God, my fucking head. Oh my God. Oh. No.
Head injuries either, but he stopped the game, and this is the thing. And I agree with you, the ref is shocking, but it goes back to the point. Paqueta went down 5 times holding his head. Every time the ref stops the game for him. So if he's going to do that, he's setting himself a precedent for everybody else.
No, he's not. No, that's not setting a precedent, Pete, because two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yes, maybe in some of those instances he shouldn't have stopped playing for Paqueta if he had seen, right? If he had seen, but this is the thing, Pete. This is the thing. He's right in front of the situation. He can see it's a foul on Kudus, right? And he's seen the follow-up where his hands brushed his face. He's right there. So if he went and go, we got to get him some attention, he'd look like a prick. Because it's not a head injury. Yeah, so you can say, some of those instances he shouldn't have stopped play, in some of those instances. But that doesn't mean that he should have stopped it there because he got it wrong elsewhere. That was a correct decision to play on. There was nothing wrong with that. It's a correct decision. Just because he's made an incorrect decision before doesn't make that incorrect, does it?
No, but look,
because that's the rules.
Errol, go on, Errol.
You need to enjoy these last couple of months with Kudus and Paqueta.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, not to rub for salt.
Wait, pipe down. Where's the last couple of months with Isaac? Yeah? What's this bias? I sit there.
Ain't going anywhere.
What?
Ain't going anywhere.
Oh, really? I see Arsenal are in for him.
They can be in for more than one. We've just had that on the chat. We were speaking about it earlier.
Well,
I said he's not going anywhere. He's got
those 2 players, and even
Kudus has got a contract. He's not going anywhere. Kudus has got a contract.
Arsenal, like Paqueta's twerking for Man City. He wants gone. You don't want to be at West Ham anymore. Just like Rice didn't want to be at West Ham. Twerking how? He wants out.
Twerking how? What did he tell you that with all your fucking Newcastle mates? Did your Newcastle mates tell you that, Pete? I spoke to some Newcastle fans and they told me Paqueta wants out.
Kudus wants out. He's using you as a stepping stone.
Look. See? Yeah. Like Isaac is using you as a stepping stone.
Nah.
Let's
What?
let me, Lawless, one sec.
No,
You're really loud. You're really loud, bro. Your microphone is so loud, man.
hold up. Let me turn it down. You should have just told me that earlier, man. I've got a volume thing. Hold up.
Yeah, turn it down a bit,
He's
man.
deflecting from that.
All the way,
I'm not deflecting from nothing.
You got beat. You were 3-1 up, right? And you got beat, and that's the problem. You're trying to use all these other excuses to justify
excuses. It's the biggest.
Lawless, let him finish.
All right.
You got beat, right? We had players flipping the hobbling, going off. We've got another ACL injury, 2 in the matter of a few weeks, right? We had to use all of our 5 subs, God knows how early on in the game, and we still came back and beat you. You said that the penalty changed the game. It didn't. Right, because the only anomaly in that second half, if you watch it back, was the fact that you caught us on the counter early on in the second half. You went 3-1 up. After that, it was one-way traffic all the way. And actually, you scored from us having a corner in the first place. Right, we absolutely pummeled you in the second half. Isak missed an absolute sitter. Longstaff missed an absolute sitter. Hall had one blocked, which was well on target and would have beat Fabianski, who's shit, by the way. I know you big him up, but he's absolutely shit, right?
I never big him up. I big up Ariola, who went off injured.
We pummeled you in the second half. We scored 3. We should have at least scored another 3 in that second half. We absolutely pummeled you into the ground. The only thing I'm frustrated about is that we played into your hands, because I said it before the game and I said it during the game. West Ham are a counter-attacking team. They rely heavily on luck. Right? They just say to the other team, there's the ball, you go and try and break us down, and we're just going to kick you on the counter. You did it against Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and you did it against us, right? The only problem is, for you, is that we had enough quality still on the pitch to put you to the sword, and that's exactly what we did.
What a load of fucking shit. What a load of shit. Like, honestly, like, where is this? Oh, you rely on look don't get you, right? Chasing Europe at 30 games in. I'm not talking
about Europe. I'm talking about that game.
I'm talking about where we are in the table, Pete. I'm talking about we're in a European race. If it was luck, you are where you are. You are where you are for a reason, not because of luck. Yeah, to say that we rely on luck, that's crazy talk. You can't rely on luck. You can't rely on.
I'm talking about.
You can't rely on. Okay. What? What, Sobs?
Let Sobs come in.
In the bigger games, you have had in bigger games this season, it's been noticeable. You have had a humongous shred of luck in some of the results that have gone in your favor. And listen, every footballing team, sometimes you need luck on your side. But the way you play, the way your manager sets you up, you do need a degree of luck to get you over the line when you're going away from home.
You need luck in anything. Arsenal needed luck to get them over the line against Man City.
Let me just finish off. At the Emirates, at the Emirates, look at the goals you conceded. Look at the goals you conceded, and look at the barrage that you withstood, because Arsenal had a poor shooting there at the office.
Okay, that's luck. That's luck.
Lawless, at our ground, you even said it yourself. We scumbag. You literally said your own words. We scumbag 3 points. Look at the goals you scored. A crazy deflection from a bad pass from Destiny, and another one deflection as well. Terrible.
But we made that last time with our pressing. Our pressing. We forced errors.
So the point. So I can see both sides to it. You are where you are because you've got good enough players to beat a reasonable amount of teams and get the odd result here and there against a tougher side away from home or even at your ground. Like, you've proven that. Like, no one's doubting that. But you can't dispel this notion that West Ham are relying on luck in some of these matches. You are. You absolutely are.
Everyone relies on luck. Newcastle.
I just said that.
You can say that. Yeah, okay. So what? It's okay. So what is the point in Pete saying we rely on luck when they rely on luck as well? What is the fucking point when we all rely on luck at periods?
You're talking about the game in isolation, Lawless. I'm not talking about other games.
But we didn't rely on luck. We scored 3. We scored 3 goals from open play. Yeah, right. So you're telling me whether you believe they're penalties or not, Pete, right? Whether you believe that if they're penalties, right? We agree to disagree on that one, yeah. But even if they are, there's an element of luck in there because one, you have to hope that our player makes a mistake to give you that penalty. Then you have to hope that the ref sees it, agrees with it, and believes it's a penalty. So you're telling me there's no luck involved there? We've scored 3 goals from open play. 3 perfectly good goals. You're going to say, yeah, you relied on luck to score them goals, but you didn't rely on luck to get those 2 penalties. Do you see what I'm saying?
We created 3 times as many chances as you. That is not about luck. But
that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit.
Numerous amounts of chances. That is built over the game. You had 4 chances on target. Right, the whole game.
No, that's not. Sorry, a shot on target isn't the same as a chance. Sorry, you're not speaking.
It's just very quick.
Here we go.
I've said it. You know, I've said it once, and I've said it before. Even our baby saying it now, Lawless. You chat shit. You're prolific.
You know what? Like you're lucky the child is there, Errol, because now I have to watch what I say because I have to. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say what I want to say in front of a child
as well. He's on foot, so you need to be careful. He's on foot as well.
No, you're just know that you could only say that, Errol, with a child present because I have to now hold what I want to say to you. So why don't you just sit this one out and shut up, Errol? Why don't you just shut up, yeah, and be quiet because no one wants to hear from you.
Let me ask you this:
twerking for Pete.
I know you hate on it. I know you hate on it, but I thought it was the game of the season so far. I thought it was class. Like I thought it was so good, man, so good, right? But let me say, I do think when you look at what you've got next, Lawless, which is why Tobes has come on. That's a massive game on Tuesday for you. Tobes is confident. Before I come back to Newcastle, because I think they deserve more of a mention, Lawless.
Do they?
Massive. Well, I'm going to give him a mention even if you don't think they deserve it.
No. I think the rest of this panel, all right, you're all cowards, yeah, because you all want to sit and twerk for Pete, yeah, and jump in and back us, yeah, but no one's got nothing to say.
Hang on a minute.
To talk, you're too busy shouting over us every time someone talks.
Wait, how comes Errol got a chance to twerk for Pete? How comes Tobes got a chance to twerk for Pete? Tobes and Errol both got chances to twerk for Pete.
Errol's got to go, man. Errol's got to go. Errol, big up, man. Big up, Errol. Big up, Errol. Love.
Take it easy, mate.
I said I agreed with you. The penalty shot. You didn't let me get a word in.
Okay, but then...
None of us have been able to
speak,
bro.
Then we carried on. It's like, Errol's got to come in. Tobes has to come in.
Listen, I don't think you would.
So where's Billy coming? Where's that? I mean, we all know what they would say anyway.
I don't know what they would say. LP doesn't think it was a penalty. Tobes doesn't think it was a penalty. And
we're not talking about the penalty.
Lawless.
I'm not talking about the penalty. I'm not talking about the penalty.
Let's talk about you lost the game, yeah, and then you got to take the L. And also, now, all joking aside, David Moyes, I think he's got a bit of blood on his hands for bringing on Phillips in the form he's in. I think he messed up.
Facts. I agree. So can I just quickly say, right? Yes, in my opinion, I know Pete disagrees. I don't think that second penalty was a penalty. However, yeah, the decision for Moyes to bring on Phillips was an absolute disaster. And as soon as that goal went in, yeah, you were still winning that game, Lawless, and ultimately you did get cooked after that second goal. Now, I know you'll say, yeah, the dynamic of the game changed. You're still winning the game. Your team could have battened down the hatches and seen it out and still won 3-2, but ultimately your team did get cooked. For me, it's more down to Moyes. That sub for Moyes to take off Antonio was absolutely shambolic, man, because that just allowed Newcastle to come at you. And you can talk about the fact that the penalties were lucky. Isak should have scored at least one. Longstaff should have scored another one. So whilst I'm sympathetic, because I do agree that the penalty was not a penalty, ultimately Moyes' subs led to the downfall of West Ham at St James's Park, and that's it. Simple.
Listen, I'm not Moyes' biggest fan. I'll just say this, but he made a justification of Antonio. He's only just come back. He can't really manage 90 minutes. And his justification was we was getting overrun in midfield and he needed an extra midfielder. Alvarez is suspended. So it's more the approach and the mentality to sitting back than the substitutions for me. But because I feel like his hands are tied in terms of personnel and who we have. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Lawless. To be fair, we like everyone around us in the stadium said it. Like we were shocked when Antonio came off. Now you said about that Moyes might have thought that Antonio wasn't fit or whatever, and he was building him back in. He looked the best I've seen him in a long time. I thought Antonio was excellent against us. I thought he was really, really good. And he was big, he was strong, he was running in the channels, he was doing everything. And he didn't look tired to me. He looked pissed off that he was being subbed. He could have gone on in that game and carried on. But as soon as he came off, that gave us the confidence that we could keep doing what we were doing. Because let's face it, even before that penalty, even before the substitution, as LB's already said, Isak had a chance before that. Longstaff had a chance before that. I think Lewis Hall had a chance before that. We were still creating a shed load of chances.
And you know what? It weren't.
I just thought at that point when it just gave us more emphasis, because Lucas Paqueta couldn't hold on to anything up there on his own. When he moved up there, we completely dominated him. It took him away from his game. I thought he was excellent as well, Lucas Paqueta. But as soon as he went up top, he was anonymous after that, and it just allowed us to keep doing what we did. We actually threw more men forward. We literally played with two centre backs. Or we then went to wing backs. So Murphy at right back, Hall at left back, weren't left backs or right backs. They went as wing backs. We just went for it because we knew that you guys weren't looking to score. Moyes messed up. Moyes thought that when Antonio came off, that you'd done enough to win the game, that Newcastle weren't going to get back into it. And he massively made a mistake. And that was with all the chances we were creating. We were always going to create more. We were always.
Do you know what? For me, when he brought Phillips on, it weren't even the penalty that he gave away. It was the lack of effort, some of the running back, some of his lack of tracking. It looked poor for me, man. Like, really did. But Tobes, man, you got him next. What's your thoughts going into this one? And Calvin Phillips, I know you were giving him some stick, bro.
I was only giving him the stick because of all the gas that Lawless put on his name to begin with. Like when West Ham signed him, I said,
downplay that a bit.
Wait.
On,
See, there you go again. Interrupting me. Yeah. When West Ham signed him, when West Ham signed him, I said that's a good signing for West Ham because what he does, his role for a team, West Ham don't have those type of players. They don't really have like tempo setters in the first phase who get the ball from the centre backs and can spray it, etc., etc. I said, you know what? It's a different signing for West Ham, but that's a good signing because they don't really have that quality in their midfield. Alvarez is more of a hatchet man. He can clamp a defense, but his passing's not really that good. So when Lawless came in and was like, no, he was like, no, he's a quality player. He's a quality player. England Player of the Year. All of this rubbish. And I'm like, hang on a second, slow the brakes. Here. Like, let's put the brakes down here. Like this guy's getting moved on at Man City for a reason, right? He's getting moved on at Man City because he's injury prone and he's not at the level, right? Yes, he's going to make an improvement to you, but just because he's coming to your club does not mean he's now all of a sudden a quality player. In the history of Premier League football, Calvin Phillips has never ever been considered a quality player. So why are we now pretending that he's a quality player because he's going to West Ham? That don't make sense. So that's the only objection I had over Calvin Phillips, and I find it hilarious that the guy that Lawless gassed up as gonna as a player who's gonna change their fortunes, etc., has been one of the worst players in terms of signings this season. He's been one of the worst. Every single game I've watched of his for West Ham, he has been horrible. If he's not culpable for a goal, he's downright dropping stinkers. So that is literally the point I'm making on Calvin Phillips. Go on, Lawless. Now you can talk.
This is what I'm saying. So see where people are like, you jumping. Because when people talk crazy on my name like that, do you know how hard it is to sit quietly while people just make up rubbish? I never said he was England Player of the Year. I never said he was England Player of the Year. Yeah, I looked at it as a positive signing. And yes, I backed him. But I never hyped him to the moons of what you attributed those quotes to me of going, he's going to change. I said...
Did you call him a quality player? Did you call him
it would be a good signing? I said it was. I
said you called him.
Yes, I said he's a quality player. I still think he is.
Okay then. All right. So
I think he is. I think he's quality.
Billy, you're my witness. You remember that day we were going at it with him. He was saying, "Oh, he's a quality player." I said, "No,
here we go.
He's not a quality player." That's all I said. And now he's saying, "Oh, people are going to put."
So you're playing semantics.
What lies?
Sorry, okay, what's the difference between good and quality?
I said he's not a quality player.
We're playing semantics. Wait. So good isn't quality then? So good isn't quality?
No, it's not.
Is that what we're saying? So you're playing semantics?
Yes, if you're a good player, you're a good player. If you're a quality player, you're a quality player. They're two different things. They're two different things. What do you
Listen,
mean?
I think
Makes sense.
when he was at Leeds and those performances for England, he showed his quality. I think it's a mentality issue right now. I think it's a mentality issue. I think that's what he's dealing with. No, because look, Potts even said it. What's coming on? The issue isn't what he's done in the game. It's the effort. It's the body language, right? It's the walking on the pitch. That's a mentality issue, not a skill issue, not a talent issue.
Flawless. I wanted to ask you though, just on this, because I agree with you with the mentality thing. I do think with Phillips, it is a mentality thing. It's a motivational thing. It just
and he's
looks
pissed
like
off with the fans by doing that.
Yeah, clearly as well.
Well, yeah, he did that. Yeah.
Do you point the finger at Moyes for bringing him in? And the reason why I asked that is because in and around January there was a lot of noises, because obviously it was clear that we were interested in it. We talked about it on this channel before, but it was clear at the end of January, and it's resurfaced again with obviously the fact that we played you, that Eddie Howe pulled away from the deal because, one, it was an expensive deal, but two, there were some kind of concerning reports that his fitness levels were absolutely shocking. And that was one of the things, one of the reasons why Eddie Howe decided against that. Like, if Eddie Howe's doing that sort of due diligence, other teams, Palace, maybe one or two others that were interested in, may well have done the same. Are you concerned that Moyes hasn't done that type of kind of research on him and just kind of took a risk? Are you annoyed by that? Are you concerned by that?
Yeah, obviously he's not done his homework, so that's a big issue. And listen, he was willing to pay up to 70 million for him a couple of Januaries ago. So he's looking at it as like he's always wanted this player. He's available on loan, and he's probably just looked at it on the surface and maybe thought that he could get him up to speed. And maybe he's looking at Lingard and going, yeah, this could, Lingard was in a similar situation. We can get him, like we got with Lingard, and it just hasn't worked out. Because I think fitness is probably a thing. It is probably an issue. But at this stage, what I saw on that pitch, that's not fitness. That's not fitness. That's attitude and mentality. Like, at the end of the day. So, yeah, Moyes has to take blame. Look, and I can't slate it. I thought it was a good signing. But again, I'm not paid millions of pounds a year to go and do my homework on players' conditions and fitness and mentalities and all them things.
Lawless, if there's any way for you to bounce back, it's Tuesday night, bro. Well, tomorrow night. Mad.
Yeah.
Spurs, can you do it again, man? Can you do a double over these?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the way that game went, that has to light a fire under us. And there's no better team than to amplify that fire, to pour, petrol on that fire than Spurs, and in a London derby under the lights at home.
Even though it benefits Villa.
Listen, at the end of the day, F Villa, all day, every day.
Keep a flying fuck about Villa.
He can't keep us out of his mouth, so.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, Dan, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Billy does
That's what I'm talking
about Aston Villa. I've noticed that. Check his Twitter.
Exactly.
You could post a picture of Ronaldinho and then he'll link it back to Douglas Luiz, who plays for Aston Villa.
By the way,
Douglas
Luiz is worth 120 million quid as well, by the way.
How about Consta's the best English defender in going right now?
All facts. All facts.
See, it goes under the radar. But
not for me.
Yeah, look.
Tobes has got eyes everywhere.
Yeah, I see it.
Let's start.
Yeah. Let's build a dossier on Billy. Billy Big Bollocks dossier. Yeah, where he sticks his chest out.
Hang on, Lawless. Billy Big Bollocks. February onwards.
Yeah, let's see it exactly. But I think Spurs. Listen, right? Spurs are quality. Look, I rate Ange. I think he's a good manager, and obviously I think they've got good players. But they have their. I think it's not really. They have their frailties. They have their weaknesses. Do you know what I mean? They're still shaky. And Toes will say, Luton. It was 2-1, but we created all these chances, we had all these shots. listen, mate, it's Luton at the end of the day, right? I expect us, and I said this when we played them last time at their ground. I think the way that Moyes plays is a perfect foil to Ange Ball. So I'm not going to sit here and be super confident, like, oh yeah, we're the favourites, but I have no reason to think that we can't go and get the result.
What are you saying,
Brendan,
Tob?
You know,
So I find it interesting that you reference the game at our ground, and I actually somewhat agree with your point in terms of the play style that has given us problems. It's when teams have dug in deep and have been super compact and close off the space and put bodies behind the ball. I think that's where we struggled. And I think in 2024 we have had our frailties. Like, we've had our frailties all season, to be honest, but I think they've been heightened in 2024 because we still had a couple of players who were injured and have come back into the team. We've got guys who are out of form, etc., and it's culminated in you seeing a well-functioning team, but you're still seeing a team that have gaps, right? Which is why we'll have our moments against Luton where, like, we're creating the chances, but we're not playing that well. But we still create enough chances. And to Lawless's point, again, if you watch that game on Match of the Day or on the replay, we created enough to have put about 5 or 6 past Luton. That was just a bad shooting day in the office. If we had even a 40% conversion rate that game, it's lights out for Luton. We're not talking about Spurs struggling against Luton going into this game. And on the West Ham game as well, I find it interesting the way Lawless speaks on the Spurs game, because, as I said, they won that game under extremely fortuitous circumstances. Like, I think there are threats that West Ham have that they can throw at us, but if you're looking at that game as like a blueprint that you can replicate, then I have serious worries on your assessment on how this game is going to go, because for you to expect,
I expect us to be better. That's what it is.
Yes,
I expect us to play better. That's why.
I also expect you to be better. It's your cup final at home. Of course, you're going to be better, right? But
here we go. We won our cup final in June last year, mate. We won our cup final.
It's your cup final. You literally heard. You saw Mark Noble.
It was the last time you won a cup final.
Mark Noble literally put out an interview today with Jermaine Genius saying how when you guys beat us in 2010, he proposed to his missus and stuff like that. He sees it as like a memorable moment. That's what your former club captain said. So I'm not making this shit up.
Wow.
Mentality, Toads. Mentality. That's why it's mentality. You go into these games like it's the biggest game ever, and that's how you get over the line. If you go in and it's another game, like you lot think you do, you're going to get beat.
So that's how you're dressing it up, because I know for a fact
when you beat us last season, Tobes, do you remember? You was celebrating.
Lawless. We got
your fans.
We got 4 points out of 6 against you last season. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it was debate. No, but were your fans not celebrating like you won the league? West Ham get battered, like all up in the concourse, yeah, jumping up and down, bouncing. It was the best night of your lives. The way you lot were celebrating.
Lawless, it's called rivalry. In case you haven't realized, we hate your guts.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So that's the point.
Yeah, but you're a despicable club. I'm not talking about what the game means from a fan perspective. I'm talking about you and your club treating this game like a cup final. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the game itself, you played us with no Van de Ven, you played us with no Maddison, you played us with no Sarr didn't start that game. He came off the bench, right? I'm trying to remember who else was missing in that game. No Bentancur. Who else was missing that game?
Did you have these players against Fulham? Did you have them for Fulham?
Yeah, but were they available for Fulham? We didn't have them against Fulham, and Fulham did well against Spurs. Like we weren't on it; they were on it. They battered us. Like it happens. But Tuesday is a fresh game. It's a fresh game, and we have players available that can do the damage against you. So the same way you're going into it thinking you can beat us, and rightly so, I'm going into it thinking we can beat you. I am. I'm going into it thinking.
Antonio's dunked on your club quite a lot. He's back now. That's someone like this new set up with Antonio at the front, Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen. This is working wonders for us. So I think with your vulnerabilities at the back, he's injured most of the time. Listen, you can't put me on the spot like that, but
I can't because I'm going to go
It
through the
probably
games
hasn't been
now.
that long ago. Go on.
I'm going
Go
to go
on.
through the games now.
Go on.
I'm going to go.
I knew that comment. I knew that comment would fucking trigger you. I
So
knew
he
it.
didn't. So he didn't play. He didn't play in the game that you won, the jammy game that you won this season. But last season, in the game you lost 2-0, he played, no goal. In the 1-1, he played, shot Kara, no goal. In the 3-1 loss the season before, he played, shot Kara, no goal. And then if you search all the way back to 2021, so 3 years ago, Antonio scored against Spurs. So he always scores against Spurs narrative, yet he hasn't scored against Spurs in his last 4 or 5 games. He always scores against Spurs.
I never said he always. See, this is what you do, Tobe. This is what you do, Tobe.
Listen,
I said he dunks on
I've
your
said what I
club.
need to say. I've said what I need to say.
I
It's
never
time
said
for
he
you
always
to-
scores. This is what.
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen, man,
It's
give me a
fine.
prediction,
I know.
man. Give me a prediction, both of you.
He can go first because he's the home team.
Go on, Lawless.
All right, I'm gonna say 3-2 West Ham. Antonio is gonna get his goal. He is gonna get his goal. For sure. Kudus is gonna get his goal, and there's gonna be a kind ball boy that is gonna, politely give up his seat.
Don't start.
As you should. Yeah. And he's gonna do his celebration. Yeah, and I think Bowen will score as well. It'll be 3-2. It's gonna. I see it being out defensive for Alteza there to see. I think it's a bit of a joke at the moment, and theirs are there as well. So it's gonna be a very try outscore type of
That'll
game.
be a cracker, man. 3-2. Wow. Tobes, what are you saying?
I think we're going to win the game 2-1.
Okay, interesting. I actually think it'll be a draw. This one. I actually think this will be a draw. I'll go 1-1. But yeah, we'll see, man. That'll be a cracker. 3-2.
Really?
Hi, Lawless.
Yeah, man. I think it'll be a draw.
Quick question. Where are you actually walking to?
Yeah. Huh? Well, I'm on my way home. I'm on my way home, but I'm just continuing walking to get my steps up. So I'm just keeping the water. What am I on now?
Darth Vader.
12,240.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
There we
impressive,
go.
around
man.
like the Darth
What I
Vader.
say. You are
It's
walking
amazing.
around
It's
like
amazing
that's
you've not
close.
been arrested yet.
Right, that's more steps than Calvin Phillips, mate.
that. All right,
I'll
listen,
give you that. I'll give you that.
Peter Maz, I know you got to go do your show at 7:30. Before you do, give me a prediction of where you think you guys will finish as things stand right now. Maz, I'll let you go first, man.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. What's Conference League? Is that 9, 8, 9?
7th or 8th.
Eighth.
Might be 8th now, yeah.
Eighth
Yeah.
if England get Champions
If they get
Champions League, yeah.
All right, let's go 8th. I feel like if we can get the players fit and De Zerbi doesn't go AWOL and give up and just start twerking for other clubs, 8th. I'm gonna go 8th.
All right, Pete.
It's a tough one. I need to know how many players have got left first. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Crazy.
But yeah, look, if we'd have not had this sort of injuries we had recently, just as we were getting players out, I'd have said 7th, 100%. I said would be there, but I'm probably going to go 8th just because I don't actually know. Nobody knows the severity of the injuries after Saturday. We've got Almiron with a knee injury. We know that Lascelles is out for 9 months as well with an ACL. Who else was there? Tino rolled his ankle. I don't know how long he's out for. And I think Shaw was playing with an injury and somebody else was as well. Although Gordon suspended, I think he was nursing injury. So I have no idea. But I'm going to go... do I think we can get European football? Definitely, even with the players that we've got left. Just because I think we still have quality left on the pitch. But I'm probably just going to go 8th, maybe just sneak in the Conference League if there is 5 spots, which it looks like there are.
Interesting, man. Listen, big up to both of you for coming on, man. Going to be heading over to Loaded as well. So big up, Maz. Go enjoy yourself. Make sure you follow Maz, Seagull Social, and big up to Loaded and Pete. In a bit, man. Listen, to close the show, seeing this is Race for Europe, we've got Villa and Man United to talk about where you're going to come. Tobes, I think Spurs, I fancy Spurs for 4th, I can't lie. And I think I'd love Villa to get it, but I fancy Spurs for 4th, Villa 5th. But Villa did their job, Billy. Man United, I say, nearly did their job, Dan, but you were stinky, man. I watched your game. Man United were horrendous, man. Even Gary Neville yesterday was like, what even was that? It was so funny on his podcast. He's like, does anyone know what that was? I swear it was brilliant. I don't even know what they're trying to do. I was like, they just stood on the pitch.
10 hard ball.
10 hard ball, man. But listen, we might as well open the panel for this one because this is. I personally don't think Man United can get Champions League now. I don't think they can. I think it's done. I think the top 5. Well, I actually think the top 6 is done because I still think Man United will come 6th, right? But and to be fair, Dan, you said that at the start of your prediction. You said Man United will come 6th, right? So I think you're right. But I wanted to bring you all in on this one because Billy Villa, you know, Lawless will say that it ain't going to be because he hates Villa and he hates Sonny Villa. But I think Villa will get Champions League football. I just don't know if it'll be 4th or 5th. I don't know with Villa.
I don't care.
Look at them and, okay, that was what I was going to ask.
Whether you want it on a technicality.
I don't care.
Like
I don't care how we get it.
Like you stayed in the league, Billy. You stayed up on a technicality. You want Champions League on a technicality. That'd be so Villa. That would be so Villa.
I don't care.
I only hate Villa because of Billy. So I was put out there, Villa fans.
Me too. I'm the same. I've got loads of Villa friends, but I fucking hate
Rose is the same now as well, man. By the sound of it. Looking at Billy. You're making everyone hate your club, Billy. What's happening?
But it is what it is. I don't care. I'll embrace it. But yeah, I don't care how we get Champions League. If we get Champions League, all I want is for Villa to keep that buffer with Man United. Obviously, if things go tits up and it doesn't come to England, the 5th Champions League spot, then we'll have a serious question to answer as to how we didn't get 4th from the position that we were in. But you know, there's a lot of football still to be played. You know, there's still 9 games. We'll win some games that we expect to lose probably, and Spurs will lose some games they expect to win, and it's going to go back and forth like that. Spurs have still got to go to Chelsea and get the job done there. That's not going to be an easy game. Chelsea are a hilarious team at the minute. We're all laughing at Chelsea, but
Billy, is that a harder game than coming to us? Is that what you're saying? Chelsea away is harder than West Ham away.
I'm not saying that at all. No, but we've both got. Spurs have still got to get a win against Chelsea, is what I'm saying, and it's not going to be an easy game. Tomorrow is going to be a hard game as well, obviously. So there's still a lot to play for, but I'm looking at it now. As long as we can keep that buffer with Man United, then we'll be sound.
You got to play them at home. Didn't they slap you 3 or 4-0 in the FA Cup? You got to play Chelsea at home. Chelsea, you're saying you got a tough game away. I agree, but you got to play them at home. And if memory serves me right, they slapped you silly at your ground in the FA Cup.
Yeah, that was without a few big players as well. Pau Torres, etc. Wasn't.
Okay. So now it matters that you're missing key players. But when it was, when it was Spurs missing all those players in December through to January and February, that was huge for you. No one's saying that it wasn't. Okay, but cool. Yeah,
you never mentioned it, though, did you?
We've still got to do our job. We've still got to do our job. We've still got to go out and win every week, or try to win every week, and hopefully we can upset Man City as well on Wednesday. I think it is, isn't it? So yeah, look, I'm not optimistic about that game whatsoever. I think I saw a stat earlier. The last 13 games away at the Etihad is an aggregate score of 41-7 or something like that.
Even with Konsa at the back, mate, the best English defender in the Premier League.
He is.
Even with Konsa.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, look. Hopefully, we'll come away with something. But
that was wild, Billy, by the way. That was wild. Better than John Stone.
He is.
Facts. Fact is something that can be proven to be true. Prove it right now. Prove it. Go on.
Yeah, but it's an
opinion. I've got him on the back of my shirt.
In my opinion, Ezri Konsa is the best English defender. Full stop.
Why?
This is crazy.
Based on what?
So he's better than Ben White.
Based on what?
Yeah,
he's better than Ben White.
Yeah, defender, fucking left back, right back, centre back.
Gomez, Ben White.
It's my opinion. Shit on Gomez. Don't give me that.
I want to know what the opinion is based on, Billy, because it's unfounded. And
the opinion is based on watching him week in, week out. Just
no. Give us something more than that. Give us something more than that. That's too easy.
What do you want me to just fucking pluck stats out the air that I don't have on me to hand?
What makes you, apart from the fact that you're an Aston Villa fan who watches him week in, week out, What makes you so certain that he's better than the likes of Joe Gomez, the likes of John Stones, the likes of Ben White? What makes you better? Or what
So
makes him better?
I watch him week in, week out, and he's just a he's just a Rolls Royce defender.
Forget
he
it,
just
forget
is.
it. You're not willing to answer the question.
I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say.
Man City fans watch Stones week in,
you said
week
he's
out.
better than these guys, and sorry, you saying, "Oh, I've watched him, so he's better." That's not enough of an excuse. That doesn't wash
But
in football.
you guys clearly haven't seen him enough. If you're saying
Okay,
that fucking Joe Gomez is better than him, if you're saying that Joe Gomez is better than him, then you clearly haven't watched him enough.
It wasn't even that Joe Gomez.
I rate Konza, yeah. I rate Konza highly. I
Gomez
think Konza's quality, but he ain't better than Ben White and John Stones, in my opinion.
Well, that's your opinion, Dan.
And Potts, Potts watches Ben White week in, week out, Billy. Potts watches Ben White week in, week out. So that means that he knows what he's talking about. It means he's right. That means he's correct.
I've not seen many defenders put Vinicius Jr. in their pocket like Ezri Konza did either, to be fair. But
like Kieran Walker? Kyle Walker, sorry. Kyle
Kieran.
Walker.
Sorry, are you forgetting, Billy? Are you forgetting the howler the howler of a game that he's had against Spurs just a couple of weeks ago when you got
everyone's supposed to be perfect for 38 games a season plus Europe.
I'm giving you,
everyone's allowed a bad day at the office.
That's what you just said. You've just said, oh, I don't see many defenders in world football pocketing Vinicius Jr. I'm like, okay, cool. But if you can name a really good game, I can name a really bad game. You can't just pick one game and say, oh my God, that's why he's better than all these players.
All right. John Stones had a shit game against Villa when he at Villa Park this season. Okay,
he did.
Everyone's allowed a bad day at the office. I don't see your point.
And everyone's allowed a good day at the office, Billy. It works both ways. It works both ways. Everyone has a good day. Everyone has a bad day.
I'm saying that, in my opinion, Ezri Konza is the best English defender there is.
Who's more comfortable on the football? John Stones, Ben White, or Konza?
Probably I'd say John Stones.
White, then Konza.
I would agree. John Stones, then Ben White, then Konza. So that's one thing I would say that Konza isn't as good as the other two, right?
And also, can we bin this narrative?
Since when
why is he better than Joe Gomez? Why is he better than Joe Gomez? They're both good defenders.
They are both good defenders, but he just is. He just fucking is.
How? Joe Gomez has been part of us.
I love Billy. Here's his class. He's just like, well, he just
hit 97 points. Was literally part of the best defense in Europe. He was a key cog in one of the best, literally the best defense in Europe that year. How am I meant to just
that year? He's not done it consistently. He had an injury and then completely dropped off the edge of a cliff. He's come back for half a season, and all of a sudden he's the best there is. What are we going on about?
Who said the best there is? Nobody said Joe Gomez is the best there is.
Fair enough. But he's not comparable to Ezri Konza.
Like, forget about Joe Gomez, for instance. Let me even give you another one. Palace defender, Gurhi. You said he's the best English defender. What is there for me to suggest that Ezri Konza is a much better centre back than Gurhi? It's splitting hairs. These are good. These are both good centre backs. So you making the statement that he's the best when we've not seen,
because that's my opinion.
Evidence.
I must admit, I like all these defenders we're talking about. I actually really rate Konza. I actually think he's a quality player.
He's a good defender. Right? Nobody's saying he's not a good defender.
I don't put him in the
same. Bro, come on.
Yeah, man. I don't put him in this season as one of the best.
This is my opinion.
Is he world class, Billy? Is he a world class defender?
Is
he world class?
In my opinion, yes, he is.
Fucking hell, man. I'm out.
Oh my God.
What do you want me to say?
Fucking hell.
What do you want me to say? I'm only giving you my opinion. I'm only giving you my opinion.
April, the chest is all the way out.
It is, man. We've still have some chest, and Billy has taken that to new extremes, bro. That is new extremes.
I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion.
I can't believe it.
I'm just giving you my opinion.
No
shame whatsoever. In my opinion, I'll say it time and time again. It's a hill that I'll die on. Ezri Konza is the best English defender. Full stop.
World class. You're going world class.
Yes. Yeah,
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Is John Stones world class? Is John Stones world class?
Yes.
That's
then
not
Ezri Konsa's better than him, in my opinion. So that makes him world class. What are we going on about here?
Do you know what? I think we've done that to death, that argument, man. Listen, let's close. Lawless is cracking up. Let's close, man. Let's talk about another good defender, shall we? Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, Dan. Are they world class? No,
we're talking about English.
Better than Konsa.
Let me just finish on let me finish on Man United. Let me finish on Man United before I get an understanding of where you think these teams are going to finish, and then we do need to close. But Dan, let me just finish on Man United. Man United, for me now, I think they're going to get sixth, but I don't think they've got any chance Champions League. Right? They might have to look over their shoulders a bit, right? Because you're not playing well enough. But just go all out for that FA Cup now, right? Just literally try and get a trophy. Like this league thing. I don't think it even matters. Man United have got to start again. When Man United, who should be, by the way, going up for titles in terms of their stature, they're nowhere near it in terms of the quality, but that's what they should be. When you don't do that, does it really matter whether you come 6th, 7th, 5th? Like, does it really matter to Man United? Not in my opinion. Maybe it does to some of the fans for their pride, right? Just go win that trophy, man. Then you get Europe anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'd be doing now, Dan.
Yeah, it's like I want to send a message to all the Ten Hag supporters out there. Told you so. Everyone was going after the Liverpool game. That's it. He's turned the corner. We've got it. With this, with that, with this, with that. Bullshit. Straight away again against Brentford. Bullshit. They hit the bar once. They hit the post twice. Had a goal disallowed. They were all over us. It was just clueless from start to finish. So, as far as I'm concerned now, Spurs, Villa, they've got Champions League. It would take an astronomical fall off from them for us to even be in there. We're nowhere near. Good news today with Jason Wilcox. Looks like that's going to be done. So that's another one behind the scenes that we're trying to get in and sorted. Just got to take it. United fans got to take the L for this season now. We could. The thing for me is we still potentially have a say in the title. That's mad. Because we've still got to play you. We've still got to play Arsenal, both at home. Buckle up. I can't see us doing anything else. And you say go all out for the cup, but against City, we're terrible. Ten Hag cannot set a team up to try and defend against City. The way that we're playing at the moment is the way we've been playing for the last 10 years. It's been Moments FC, the FA Cup quarter-final, Moments FC. That's all we are. I was going to bring this in, but LB's gone. This is the difference between a good manager and a great manager. Phil Foden having a shocker brings him off. Week in, week out, we see Bruno Fernandes playing shit, horrendous, can't pass a ball, but the guy stays on. There is so much player power there, I think, involved. I think he's terrified of taking the guy off. I honestly do. So at the moment, I'm just going to sit here, just count the days down until the season's over, and then hopefully we start again. But I just have this horrible nagging feeling that Ten Hag will be in charge next season. I honestly do.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're going to give him a chance to actually get this. Is this Jason Wilcox guy, the one who won the league with Blackburn in '95, right?
Are they? I'm not sure.
I'm sure it is this guy. He played at Blackburn in '95. I don't know if I'm the only one. I mean, Dan, you're my age. Some of you are younger than me, but this is the same guy who won the league in '95 with Blackburn, right? He was playing with Shearer and Gallagher.
Yeah, he is. It is him. Yeah.
Tim Sherwood. Yeah, I'm sure. I thought it was him. I didn't know this guy was top quality, but apparently this guy is really highly rated. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there, man. But there's a few of them being brought in, and I'm kind of with you, Dan. I think they might actually. Here we go. Yeah, Martin said in the chat, Wilcox, Shearer, and Sutton, and Sherwood, and all that. I remember it, man. '95. Wow, incredible. '95, '96. I think they'll be given a chance to actually have a look at what Ten Hag's about, but they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. I mean, if they're going to get Southgate, then they might as well keep Ten Hag. But let's be real. But they're not going to go and get Southgate, in my opinion. I think they will look to go and get. I think they will get together if they're footballing men, like people were saying. They'll go and appoint somebody that they think can take them forward. And I think you need to go and get somebody in that's actually got a winning mentality. And go and get someone in the window and say, right, I need you to go and get me Champions League in the first year and put us title challenger in the next. We've got 4 windows to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Man United have got the money. It's not like Man United don't have money to spend. They've spent unbelievable amounts of money. They've just wasted it on crap. And that's the problem. If they actually put that towards a good scouting system, Man United, there's no reason why Man United in 2-3 years' time couldn't be up with Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool now fighting.
But we have to take Ten Hag off transfers. We have to take him off transfers.
Yeah, that's done, man. That's done.
Take him off transfers.
I wouldn't let him spend another penny, man. He's been absolutely shocking. He really has. But, Tobes, are you looking at Man United, or are you like sort of you and Villa flying out for 4th, 5th?
Mathematically, they're still in the race, and I expect that there will be weeks where we may slip up and they might get 3 points, and it's all of a sudden it's back to 5 points. Maybe it's even 3 points. But really and truly, whilst there is a worry, it's only a worry because of how these races usually go. Like you usually have ups and downs. But am I truly expecting Man United to leapfrog Spurs? No, I'm not. I'm really not. And
it's done.
If they do, we've had a howler. I'll be real. If they do, we've had a howler. They have difficult games as well, as do we, as do Villa. So I think it's going to be a straight shootout between us and Aston Villa for top 4. I still think we're going to get it, but I'll be real. I think Aston Villa have it well within themselves to cling on to it and take it to the end. So if there's any team that will get it, it will be the team that are above us right now, Aston Villa. I don't really see Man United putting up a run of form that can overturn an 8-point swing against us, let alone an 11-point swing against Aston Villa with the fixtures they have left.
You could add a point on that as well for the goal difference as well.
Yeah, goal difference is shocking.
It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask with the way they play as well. Yeah, man. I'm looking at these games. They got Liverpool coming up. I know they beat them in the FA Cup, but the league game will be different. They got to play Arsenal. I think they still have to go Stamford Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple other games as well that I've not.
Brighton away as well.
Brighton away, yeah. Like there's games where they'll struggle, man. They'll struggle. So
do you know what I just don't understand though? This is the thing that really I can't get this through my head. And Billy, you might be able to help me with this. As shit as United are, we still beat you twice with the legendary world-class Konza at the back. Can you make it make sense to me? Can you make that make sense?
Doesn't make sense to me, mate. I don't know. If we'd have beaten you those 2 times, this will make you happy. If we'd have beaten you those 2 times, I think we'd be second.
Would you? Happy to
add 6 points onto us, and I think we're second, third or second. I can't remember.
I love this one for you, Billy, as well. This super chat comes in here from Blaze, who says Gallagher's better than Luiz and Kamara. I watch him every week. Don't ask me why. I just think he is. That's my opinion.
But why is he?
Nah, what a comment.
He just isn't.
Comment.
Okay then. So you know he isn't, but we're meant to know that Ezri Konza is the best English. You know,
I love that.
Let's not,
man. Let's not. Listen, to close, I want you to tell me where you think you'll come in, man. I still think Arsenal are going to come second in the Premier League. I don't think we're going to win it. Billy, what are you telling me? Where is Aston Villa going to finish? 4th or 5th?
I'm gonna still back us to finish 4th. It's gonna be a huge ask still, don't get me wrong. But I think, as Errol said earlier in the season, if I can't back them now, when can I back them?
There we go, man. Dan United, are you sticking with 6th for Man United?
I thought you'd like that one, Dan.
Oh, just mate, honestly, you live in my head rent free. I can't get you out of my fucking head, mate. Honestly. Yeah. I think 6th. I think we'll be lucky to finish 6th. I think with the fixtures we got coming up, I don't trust Ten Hag to do anything. So we'll go 6th, potentially 7th.
All right, Lawless, you still saying West Ham 7th?
I'm sticking with 7th. Newcastle's injuries, Brighton just being completely unimpressive. I think we can just do it. But if we finish 8th and that gets us Europe still, I'll take that. Anything below 8th,
League.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll get back. Like I said, Severe the Conference League. We'll do it every time. Yeah. And anything below 8th, I'm not accepting. I'm not taking. I'm not happy with. And then that's big questions about the manager next at the end of the season. All fun to look forward to.
And do you know what it was, right? When you went 3-1 up, I almost accepted that West Ham were not going to come 10th like I predicted. And then you threw it away, and I thought, that's why. I can never bet on West Ham. That's why. Anyway, Tobes, what are you saying, bro? Are you going for 4th or 5th with Spurs?
4th.
Okay, interesting, man. I think it's going to be really tight between Villa and Spurs, but I do agree. Yeah, I think it will, man. I just hope that you You don't get to a stage where you're like, we'll take fifth, just lose to Man City so Arsenal don't win the league, and then we'll come fifth.
Man, I don't believe in that. I mean, I would love. I think those teams are going to pull it out the bag anyway, man. But if they're going to do it, they need to do it fair and square. So for me, I'm not looking at it as let's fall on our sword for Man City. I'm looking at it as those teams are going to do what they're going to do. Where we have an opportunity to beat you, let's beat you so we can take some points off.
That's the right way, man. That's the right way to go about it. Facts, man. Facts. Fair play. Did anyone used to listen at all when they were younger to the Streets, Mike Skinner?
Yeah. What about
yeah.
I wasn't a fan, but fucking hell. Wait, what is that what you're trying to?
It's reminding me, man. It's reminding me of you, man.
By the way, I would have took my hood off many times. Every time I took it off, Potts muted me because of the wind. So I've had to keep it off, even though my head's kind of hot right now. I've kept it on because of the wind.
Lawless, I'm fully expecting an e-fit of you on BBC News tonight, mate. The stuff you've been shouting in that bar.
So I don't know what I'm going to do if I have to do this again and it's blistering outside. Like, if it was baking, I don't know what I would do. I'd be screwed.
Love it, man. Listen, big up to all of you for coming on. Big up to Errol, big up to Maz, big up to LB and Pete as well. Make sure you go follow all these guys, man. Make sure you go over to Tapping Tobes. Make sure you go over to @the_Lawless_West_Ham_fan_TV. United First for Dan on TikTok. Total Screamers Podcast and AV Billy as well. And make sure you do us a favor and like and subscribe to this, man. We're getting close to 20K, which is amazing. So please make sure that you can do us a favor and like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. So big up yourself for that one. Make sure you go check out Football Prizes as well, our sponsors, and click on the pinned comment for Surfshark VPN. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take it easy, and as always, up the Arsenal. Laters.